Hi and welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. Today I'm here with Canvas Corp brands to bring you a fun project. I am using their recipe beautiful papers here and some of the tags and things to create this fun recipe box with recipe tag on the front here. Plus I'm using their lovely recipe cards for dividers, and also I have a fun Victoria Sponge British recipe to share with you as well. So let's get started. So here I have all my supplies to make the box. We're going to start off, I bought this box in, or on Amazon rather, and it's just an Into Design plastic box, but it works perfectly for recipe cards and you can fit lots in here as well. I also like that I can put magazine pieces and things in here really easily. I've got my gloss Mod Podge here. I have a large brush. I just bought these in the dollar store, just some cheap ones, and then at the end I might also use some of my art basics for some things. I've cut one piece of paper into 4-inch strips, which is what I'm going to put around the edges first of all, and then I cut the labels into labels like this, and I'm going to Mod Podge them on, but this will give me a nice base for us to see. You'll also see if I've got any edges that come up. I've got my craft knife here to run it around. I'm working on my tonic craft mat. It works really well with Mod Podge and things. And then I have my Tim Holtz Ranger mat, which I'm going to pour some Mod Podge onto. So once I pour out the Mod Podge, I'm going to just put it onto my Tim Holtz craft mat. I'm actually working on a tonic craft mat because it was the clear out with the Mod Podge was super easy. I'm using a wide paintbrush, and I'll link all that up for you as well. And I'm just going all the way around, putting on a base coat of the Mod Podge. And I pre-cut my paper down to strips that were the same width as my box. And I'm just going to go all the way around adding this base on, and then put some Mod Podge over the top as a little bit of a glaze. And I just keep adding those layers as well. If it doesn't quite stick right, or if I need a little bit more moisture, add a bit more Mod Podge. And you can see how I'm just going round and adding these pieces on to create my basic outline. Now, when you work with Mod Podge, you will need to give it a little bit of time to dry. I ended up doing all of this, and then I had left it overnight to dry, and by the next morning it was perfect. You'll also see at the end I added on my top coat, my glaze, at the same time as this, and I didn't find I needed to add another one, so this whole way worked really well. If you get any tardy edges at the bottom, as you can see I have a couple there, either add some extra Mod Podge so it's nice and sort of a socky paper and you'll be able to tuck them under, which is what I ended up doing, or I had a couple of rogue ones and I just took a craft knife to them and I was able to just chop them off. So once I now have this base coat on, I'm going to add some extra embellishments, and I had some of the lovely Canvas Corp paper that I have already trimmed down into labels, and that's what I'm going to add. You can see there how I'm just tucking all of those edges in to make sure they sit there nicely, and anywhere you can see there where it doesn't stick, I've just added the Mod Podge, and I added a whole coat of Mod Podge in the end over the bottom, which just seals it all in nicely as well. This is a sticky process. I do wish that I had taken my rings off, so if you're wearing any jewellery, I would recommend you take that off first of all, otherwise clear up is a little bit more tricky. So I left that to dry maybe for 5 minutes or so, and now I'm starting to add those labels on. I think they're absolutely fab. I put some Mod Podge down first, put the labels on, and then Mod Podged over the top. A couple of the larger ones I also Mod Podged before I put them onto the box, so I did that as well. And I put the recipes there on the front so that when it sits in the cupboard it works perfectly, and I like this slightly wider piece because of how I can put magazine pieces and that on. I actually use it on the side. You'll see in some pictures later on how I've decided to use mine as well. So you can go as mad as you like. You might even want to add some tea stain on the top. I just like the nice cream effect because I'm going to have a nice blank canvas kitchen, and I'm going to use all my accessories to add colour, and I haven't decided on a colour, so I thought the black and white, or black and cream I should say, would work really nicely. So that's our finish outside. I also did some on the inside. I had some labels left, so again a coat of Mod Podge, pop those in the bottom as well, and then a coat over the top. The great thing is Mod Podge is quite forgiving. You can move things around, and it will also give you a nice waterproof seal as well. So when I'm using it in the kitchen, if it gets a bit greasy, I can wipe it down and everything's going to work really nicely as well. So you can see there I've now used all of my labels up. I've added those coats on the handles and just tidied them up a little bit with my fingers as well. So that is our finished box, and you can see here some pictures. I've used the recipe dividers and the recipe cards from Canvas Corp as well, and I really love the finished effect of this as well. So I've been using this in the kitchen. You can see there how I use it on its side, and I've been making a Victoria sponge recipe as well. So thanks so much for joining me today here with Canvas Corp. Do check out all those links below, and I will see you again very soon for some more inspiration. Happy crafting! Bye!